This lesson is continuation to the previous lesson on basic data transformations. In this lesson, we are going to get the data from 4 more queries into Power BI and then going to delete the columns that are not necessary for reporting. Also going to identify the errors and duplicates and clean them. We are also going to create a new column and then sort those columns. With this context, let's get into the system and then perform all these basic data transformation activities. First task, connect to Excel data source and query additional data. For that, right click on query pane, new query, get data from Excel data source. Again, connect to super retailer sales. Now Power BI is establishing the connectivity with Excel data source and displaying all the queries or tables that are available in that Excel sheet. Now we can see additional tables or queries like buyers, dates, managers, and regions. Select all these 4 tables. Now Power BI is pulling the data to Power Query. Now let's review all these tables one by one. Now let's look into buyers. Change the table name to buyers. Now inspect the columns of this buyer table or query. In buyer table, we have category and buyers. Both of them are text field. No data type changes are needed. Now let's move to dates table. Change the query to dates and review the columns. We have columns like date, financial year, financial quarter, and month. The first column is date, looks good. Financial year and financial quarter are text fields, looks good. And financial month is number, so this is also looking good. No changes are needed in this table or query. Now let's move on to manager table and change the query name to managers. And in this table we have 3 columns like suburb, postcode, and manager. Especially suburb and manager are text fields and postcode is whole number. Everything looks good. No data type changes are needed. Now let's move on to the final table, region. Change the region table to or region query to regions and inspect each and every column. We have state, suburb, and postcode. State and suburb are text fields and postcode is whole number. So no change required for this query also. The second step that we are going to do is identifying the columns that are needed for data modeling and reporting and deleting them. If we closely look at these columns, most probably we may not be using forecast price in our sales modeling. So let's remove this column. In order to remove any column, select that column, right click, and then remove that column. This is one way to remove the columns. The other way to remove the column is select all the columns that we wanted to use in the data modeling and remove all other columns. For this, what we have to do is select all the columns that we want to use in the data modeling and reporting. Right click, remove other columns. The third activity we want to do is data profiling and cleaning the data. For that, let's do a couple of steps. The next step that we are going to do is identifying the errors and removing those rows. For that, go to Home menu and go to Reduce Rows, submenu. Click on Keep Errors, which is going to list out all the rows with errors. Now we see that there are 5 rows with errors. If you want to closely inspect why there is an error, you can click on a particular row and we are going to get the preview of why there is an error. In this case, this row couldn't be converted because Power BI couldn't convert text value dummy to a date. We can review each and every row and take the decision whether we want to address those errors or remove those errors. In this case, since there are only 5 entries, we just wanted to remove from the data. For that, what we can do is again select entire table, Control A, and then remove errors. Now let's count the number of rows in this table. In order to do that, let's go to Transform tab, Count Rows. Now Power BI is going to list out row count. In this table right now we have about 80,965 rows. Now we want to find out whether there are any duplicates. For that, select all the rows in the table, Control A, and click on Keep Duplicates. Since we are getting some entries, that means there are some duplicates. So undo the step. Now go to Remove Rows, remove the duplicates. So far, we have identified the errors and deleted those errors. We have identified that there are duplicate entries. We also remove those duplicate entries. Now let us take a look at the row count. For that, again go to Transform tab, click on row count. Right now we have about 76,465 rows. That means we have removed a lot of duplicate entries. Undo the step once again. The other task that we would be doing is that sometimes there will be blank rows. So we have to remove the blank rows also. For that, what we can do is select all rows in the table, go to Reduce Rows, remove blank rows. We have removed the blank rows. With this, we have treated errors, duplicates, and the blank rows. Next, create a brand new column with the product of total units and sales. For that, what we are going to do is we are going to select the columns based on which we want to create a new column. Since we are creating a brand new column, go to Add Column menu. From there, go to Number Functions, Standard Functions, multiply these two columns together. We have created a brand new column, but the column name is not right. In order to change the column name, double click on the column and change that one to line sales. Now let us explore how to sort the column from the context menu. From the column, right click on this drop down. We are going to see sorting options. Either we can sort the ascending order or descending order. In this case, we are sort in descending order so that we can see the top values. Or if you want to sort using menu options, go to Home menu and then click on Sort Descending Order. This way, we can sort the line sales from highest to lowest, and we can see the top values in the first row. There is a lot to cover in data transformations. We are going to discuss more complex transformations in the coming lessons. Stay tuned. Thank you.